I think in goal, I think I'd have Joe Hart. I thought when he did break in, he played really, really well at obviously country and club level, and it didn't really make too many mistakes. My right back, I think, would be Gary Neville. I think consistently he played at the highest levels for pretty much all of his career when I was coming through. Defended well and also created goals. My two centre backs, I think, would be Rio and John Terry. I think when they played together, they complemented each other very well. Obviously, Rio was not only an amazing defender, but is very good with the ball and coming out from the back and setting plays into attack. And John, as you know, he was like die-hard, always tackling, putting his head in dangerous places, and he could also play football as well. The one and only Ashley Cole. And for me, he went in his time playing, he was probably the best left back in the world at the time for club and country. Based on his defending, he attacked well as well. And not only did he attack and get in the final third, he always managed to get back. Paul Scholes. I think my first DM would be, I played against him loads of times, and the way he dictated the game from so deep in the field, he was almost playing like a quarterback every time. And for a winger, it would be a dream, I think. I think if I was a manager for England at that time, I think he would have been one of the first names on my team sheet. Steven Gerrard. I picked Stevie G because I think what he's done in his career, especially at Liverpool and when he played for England, spoke for itself. His ability on the ball, but not only to create, he was like not old school, but a traditional box-to-box number 8 midfielder that did everything. David Beckham. His work ethic was great. He knew how to play the game, understand it very well, and his crossing was second to none. I think as a striker, he could cross the ball from, I think, anywhere on the pitch pretty much. And not only was he a great player and a leader on the pitch, he was the same off. Yeah, he was a great captain. I remember coming on in one of the games, and when he was coming off, the first thing he said to me, just go on and do what you've been doing, because for me, I think you should be starting in front of me. And like that is good coming from like your captain and whose place you're trying to fight for. Frank Lampard. I think if England, if this formation, I wouldn't say was around, but was being used back then, I think this is a formation that would have got all the three midfielders that everybody wanted to see in the centre of the park, right in the centre. I think Frank was a great player, not only creating goals, but his timing of getting into the box and scoring goals was almost like a striker. Joe Cole. Joe Cole could play left, right. He was a very skillful player for England and Chelsea at the time. I think his eye for the goal and creating chances for everybody else out of nothing was something that would always be needed in this game. Wayne Rooney for me. I think he could play that lone striker, especially if he's getting a lot of the ball in the areas he wants it. I think his hold-up play is great. And if he's got his back to you, as a defender, the job's not done because he can turn. And he, like you want from every striker, he scores goals. And not only does he score the tap-ins, he scores the brilliant goals from outside the box as well.